Hey y'all, welcome to Camo and Plaid. I'm David and I want to thank you for dropping in. Today I hope to answer the question, is the SigSauer Romeo 7S worth $100? The simple answer for me is yes, and I'm going to tell you why I spent my money on the SigSauer Romeo 7S. For me, it started with the price to features ratio. For $100, this thing is chock full of necessities. The 7S has a 2 MOA dot in either green or red, dependent of course on the model you purchase. That means within 2 inches of where you put that dot at 100 yards, your bullet will hit, assuming of course you do your part and your weapon does too. There are other things that come into play, such as how high you have the brightness set compared to the amount of ambient light, but that is the gist of it. Next is the motion activated sensor, shake-awake technology that will turn the dot on when you move it and will turn the dot off when you aren't using it. This helps to extend the battery life so that the dot is available when you need it, if that day ever comes. Then you have battery life. The advertised battery life for the red dot is 50,000 hours, and the green is around 40,000. Now that is of course at a mid to low setting that you will likely never use. But again, the shake-awake tech really makes this a long-lasting dot sight. When you do need to change the battery, it isn't some obscure size or super expensive battery that has to be used. The 7S uses standard AAA batteries. The battery housing is an exposed tube style with a knurled screw end that is based below the shooter's field of view so as not to obstruct the user's vision. The 7S has 9 brightness settings for daylight and 2 night vision settings. With night vision becoming more and more available at a reasonable price, I think this is a must-have and was considered in my purchase. The brightness knob is on the battery housing and is a rotary style. The mount the sight comes with is solid and was set up in the 1/3 co-witness configuration, which is what I prefer for a less obstructed view through the sight when using fixed backup sights. The 7S can also have the center portion of the sight removed for an absolute co-witness if that's your jam. The lenses are clear and don't have much of a hue to them. As I said, this sight is full of features at a great price. Now, I purchased 2 of these from PSA during one of their sales and have them mounted on the FM15 with the 9-inch barrel and the 13.9 pin and weld. So far, both are running well, and the 9 goes with me everywhere, so the sight is probably always on. I have not noticed any point of impact shift, and I have not had to replace the batteries yet, which doesn't mean much since that is easily within the advertised battery life without the shake-awake feature. However, I have had that same runtime with much higher price red dots that have failed much sooner, like the Aimpoint Pro, which of course run that funky N-type battery that isn't cheap. SigSauer has been in the red dot game for a long time. I got my first SIG red dot around 2008 with the purchase of a SIG 5.56 pistol. It ran well while I had it, and the other SIG red dots like the MSRs I have all held 0 on all the different weapons I have them on. I find this offering to be much more than its price tag would suggest, and an easy buy for me at $100, as it is currently for sale at. I have a few $400+ sights that I prefer this sight over, but admittedly they are a few years old, and the advancement in the technology of optics has come a long way in that time. I think this optic is worth the money, and I appreciate you listening to why I spent mine on it. Thanks for your time.
so far.